Hello everyone, I'm Jesus and welcome to the next episode of The Road to Old School MTG. This video is the fourth round of the January 2024 Old School Atlantic Tournament held at Dave's Time Warp in Cedar Grove, New Jersey. This was a 4-round tournament, so this is round number 4, so this is the last round. I am 2-1 up to this point, so I lost the first game, but I won the next 2. So this is now the final game. So if I end up potentially winning this one, I could definitely get a pretty high seed in terms of the placement of the prize cards. And I'll discuss that at the end, towards the end of this video. But before we get into the match for today, let me discuss quickly my deck that I brought here. So this is a Bantamgeddon deck, which is just Erhnamgeddon, but with blue for Serendipity Fritz and blue power, as well as the Brain Geyser. I have all 5 Moxes. This is something a little different that I've done from the past. I've only included the on-color Moxes, so I didn't include the Mox Jet or the Mox Ruby because I don't play red or black. But I've started to include these just for ramp, and it seems to be the correct call. Everything else is just standard stuff. The main differences are the 2 Suchis and the 4 Mishra's Factories. Factories is something that I've been recently adding, and then now with the Factories, I could also add Suchis, since that gives me an outlet for the colorless mana in case the Suchis get destroyed. And for the sideboard, the 2 main cards to look out for in general were the Deserts and the Javelineers. I, especially against either weenie decks or just very quick decks that deal damage through weenies and then direct damage to finish off, I wanted to have a buffer against that. I was recommended Acacian Javelineers, but for me, I thought maybe Deserts were better. So I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of test both of them out at the same time and kind of see which one is best. So that's why if you notice these 8 cards in the sideboard, and you might be thinking, well, don't they kind of like do the same thing, but maybe in different ways? That is true, but that's exactly why I wanted to try to test both of them out simultaneously to kind of see out of the 2, which one do I think is better suited for this deck. Other than that, everything else is pretty standard stuff. So let's get into game 1. So neither one of us mulliganed. I play a Plains and a Savannah Lines. Opponent goes Underground Sea. Mox Jet taps 2 for a Demonic Tutor, so that's a pretty strong start. Depending on what they get, they might be doing additional things in this turn. If not, then they'll just draw the card and then pass. All right, so that seemed like what happened here. My turn, I untapped. Draw, I'm attacking. So my opponent's tapped out, so he's going to be taking it. I drop a Savannah, tap 2, Pixie. So I'm getting a pretty good curve here. Turn 1 creature, turn 2 creature. Hopefully I can get a dib next turn, or maybe I get a Mox in addition to a land, and then I could jump straight ahead to an Erhnam or just something beefier. My opponent played a tropical island, a volcanic island, and he ancestral himself, so that's pretty strong. So that's what he must have gotten with the Demonic Tutor. Ancestral. Now he's casting a Mana Vault, tapping 4 mana for a Suchi. Oh, okay. So that's very strong. So he's had By his turn 2, he has 2 lands. He's cast the Demonic Tutor, Ancestral, Mana Vault, Mox, Suchi. So I disenchant. So now I'm... Oh, and he takes 4 damage in addition. And now I attack for 4, so he's at 10. And... Yep, so my opponent cannot pay the Mana Vault. So he takes 1 damage. So he did a lot, but then with just that 1 disenchant, it kind of brought it back in my favor. But although I did have the Pixies, so the Pixies are immune to the Suchis. So unless he had direct damage, I wasn't particularly in much danger there. But honestly, most likely he did have direct damage. We'll see. I guess we'll see this either this turn or during my turn as an instant. But if the Suchi is any indication and he has more artifact creatures, then yeah, definitely he needs to get rid of the Pixies. So I did drop a land last turn, a factory. So I don't have blue, so I couldn't have cast a dip anyway. Okay, so I attack only. I don't attack with the factory. Opponent side blasts the Pixies. He takes 2, but then he takes 2 more from the line. So he had to side blast the Pixie. And then I don't do anything else. So I'm surprised I didn't attack. I guess I didn't want to lose my factory. I must have, of course, other things in hand. Maybe my own Suchi, earn them, and I just want to get to that 4th mana so I can cast it. So the opponent's turn, he took another damage from the Mana Vault. He's at 4, and he's not dropping any more mana, so... Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. This is a big gamble. He's tapped out. I'm seeing if I do any... Okay, ooh, he had 4 copy artifacts and like 3 trikes. Oh, I had the Sarah and the Armageddon, but I didn't have the land to cast those cards. And then I think I had a Time Walk as well, so I needed blue as well. All right, so we both discard our hands. We draw 7 cards. Opponent drops a land. But it's just 1 mana, so honestly, the best thing you can do is Lightning Bolt my line or the factory if I choose to attack. But I now have a full hand. I must have gotten another land. And most likely I have another creature. So I'm going to partly attack just with the line. I play a Mox Ruby. So I'll probably just attack with the line unless I have even more mana. Oops. I mean, he's at 4 though. So I guess that's why I'm... Yeah. So as soon as he tapped, I knew, okay, he's bolting the factory. I mean, that makes the most sense. All right, so I just was... Okay, so I knew I had another land. Oof. Okay, he has 4 mana. He's still going to take up... So he's not going to tap out to untap the Mana Vault, or else he doesn't have mana to cast anything. So he's a 1. I mean, being a 2 or a 1 makes no difference. All right. That is game 1. So my deck was pretty aggressive. Basically did what it's designed to do. The Pixies, although I didn't get to use them in combat, nonetheless, it seems like that's going to be a very good card in this matchup. This game 2. My opponent mulliganed once. Starting with Underground Sea, a Mox Emerald, and a turn 1 Chaos Orb. So pretty strong start, especially considering he mulliganed 1 card away. So I play a land, I'm not sure which one, but I cast a line. So I'm doing the same thing I did last turn. Copy artifact on the, ooh. I guess he's copying artifact the Chaos Orb. Another option is for him to copy artifact his Mox his Mox Emerald. So that way he can ramp. But okay, so now he did it on the creature, and then he used the copy artifact copy of it to Chaos Orb my Lion away. All right, so turn 2. So it seems like it's a Tundra that I have. Now I'm playing a factory. So I think maybe I had a different land in hand. Ooh. I was thinking maybe I played the factory just so I can tempt my opponent to kill that instead of the Tundra, because I usually want to, of course, I need colored mana. But maybe that's just what I had. Oh no, or probably actually I wanted to have it ready to attack next turn. Yep, there it is. I'm attacking. 18, I play a plains, so I guess I didn't have a turn 3 play. So my opponent went, but played up island, and then that's it. Or maybe he played it last turn, but he didn't do much. I attacked for 2, because I'm not seeing any red, right? So he can't. I mean, he could side blast, but okay, so he play another Underground Sea and has a Suchi. I source the Suchi end of turn. Okay. Since the Suchi doesn't go to the graveyard, he doesn't get the 4 color list that will deal the damage from unused mana. I attack with the factory last turn, so he's at 18. Yep, 5 mana only means one thing, a Sarah. Okay, he's tapping. Okay, my opponent goes. Ooh, he must have been waiting for me to play something. So he played the Abyss. My Sarah goes bye-bye, but I do have the factory. Okay, ooh, nice. Suchi is immune to the Abyss. So that's definitely another reason why I really wanted to have Suchis, because of this reason. In case the Abyss came down by surprise, I would have at least 2 creatures that would be immune to it in the main deck. All right, so I activate an attack. He's tapped out. Oh, no, my opponent won again, and then yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's a different turn. Like, we're going really fast here. So it took 6 now. He's at 12. Regrowth the Disenchant, most likely, yep. And I cast it, yep, on his Abyss. So I must have other creatures in hand, and I want to finish the game off. He played a factory, but nothing else. Well, he had a Felwardstone, I guess, from last turn. Okay, I'm activating. I'm attacking. So that's 6. He'd be at 12 if he doesn't do anything. I mean, he'd be at 6 if he doesn't do anything. He could activate his factory and block. Yep, seems like that's what he's doing. I could react before blocks. So, but I don't have anything. So we trade. But I don't mind that, because then it makes it so that the Suchi is not able to be blocked next turn. I follow this up with 2 pixies. So even if he has a creature, an artifact creature, or another factory, he could not block the pixies. So, all right. So he plays a Mana Vault, taps 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, that is strong. But the Trikes cannot shoot the pixies. I mean, I believe he can, but it would be reduced to 0 if I'm not mistaken. So it could be targeted, but it would just be a waste of the tokens. All right, my turn. I untap. Let's see. Okay, he's putting the tokens on the. Okay, he's probably gonna just trade with the Suchi. Okay, I take 4 because my factory is gone. he takes 4 from the 2 pixies. Whoa, 2 pixies. So this is just flooding the board in case he plays an abyss. So so he's going to take 1 more damage from the mana wall because he cannot pay the 4, or else he can't cast anything. So I'm flooding it in case he has the abyss, because it doesn't seem like he has any board wipes, right? He's not playing white. So even if he does play an abyss, oh, he just showed me his hand. He had no red. He could have dealt with all the pixies if he had 1 red. But that's the way it works in Magic sometimes. But I'm glad here with my results, so I was able to get this one 2-0. So now I'm going to be discussing just the process of the prize cards and how all that works. Okay, and here we are in the prize selection phase of the tournament. So the tournament has concluded. I ended up being 3-1 and good for 3rd place. So the top row of cards for the top 3, we chose according to 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place placement between Antiquities Mishra's Factory, Alpha Swamp, and an Alpha Pixies. And then for 4th and 5th place, they get to choose between a Stone Library or a City of Brass. And then on the 2nd row to the right, you will see an altered clay statue. That was also another card given from the tournament organizer, Days Time Warp. That was a special last place card, right? So it's a clay statue, and it was been altered a bit. So I just wanted to make it clear which were the cards given out by the actual tournament for this event. Everything else that you see are cards that were donated by players. So that was part of the process of signing up. So this tournament did have a $10 entrance fee, so everybody paid that. But in addition, you had to donate an old school legal card to be included for prizes. Right, so top 5 chose from the top row, and so starting from the 6th place all the way until the end, they chose from everything else that's remaining. And in addition, you'll notice, except for that Mox Sapphire token and the 6th place card, right, because that card is part of the prize cards from the tournament, everything else has been initialed on. It has the store stamp as well, scribbled on. So those cards are now tattooed. And if you play the Tattoo 40 format, then the card that you select from here, from this pile of cards that were signed and stamped, those could be included in your Tattoo 40 deck. All right, so as I mentioned, I was 3-1, so I was good for 3rd place. So I'm going to show a time lapse of the cards being taken. So 1st place took the Alpha Script Sprite. 2nd place took the Antiquities Mishra's Factory, and me as 3rd place, I took the Alpha Swamp. 4th place took the Sylvan Library, and 5th place took the City of Brass. Now, from 6th place on, the cards that are remaining, except for the clay statue, are now eligible to be selected. And before anything, the card that I donated, I believe it's been now close to a month after the tournament. I'm pretty sure the card I donated was the Unlimited Judge Skeletons. So that's the one I gave. So now this is 6th place, so now is selecting from these cards. 6th place chose the Judge Skeleton. 7th place chose the Sarah Angel, plus the clay statue went all the way to the top. I think that was just because we were waiting for it to be given to the side so that the last place player can get that card specifically. All right, so next card that was selected was the COP Red. After that, the next card was I believe it's Unlimited Terror. Next card chosen after that was so there was quite a few unlimited cards. Unlimited Disintegrate. Then the next card chosen was the Proxy Mox Emerald. That proxy was actually a proxy card from John Con. I went to that tournament and I purchased a playset of the Power 9, which included the Moxes. So this particular player who donated that card must have gone to that same tournament. The next card is the Channel. Plus, I don't see the clay statue there anymore. So I believe this may have been the last place player already selecting their card. Plus, in addition, they got the last place card, right? The altered clay statue. So now what we did for this particular tournament is once we got to the end, we starting from the last player again, we went backwards. So I believe this may have been already last place. I'm not too sure. But it makes sense since the clay statue is not there. So we're going to assume this is last place already. So now from the end, we're going backwards until all the cards are selected. So it was, I believe, like 15, 16 players. So then the second time around, it did not reach me. So the only card I got was the Alpha Swamp. So now going backwards, the next player chose, let's see, what was the next card chosen? The Altered Therlore. Then my Drudge Skeletons was chosen. Then the Unlimited Crawworm. The Will-o'-the-Wisp. The Pestilence. The Stream of Life. Paradise Gypsies were chosen next, and then the very last one was the Mox Sapphire token, right? So that's either may count as a token or a piece of art. I'm not too sure, but somebody was kind enough to donate some that in addition to their normal card, right? So you can definitely put more if you want. But that was the last thing that was chosen, and then that clears the table. So I'm glad to be showing not just the games for this particular tournament, but also what happens after, right? Because that definitely gets glossed over in the videos that I've noticed. But for those who are unfamiliar with this, which I was when I first started, just this particular tradition that is, I believe, is mainly an old school Magic tradition. So for those unfamiliar, this is the way it goes down. And depending on different tournaments, they might do slightly different things, but for the most part, this is the way that it gets handled. And those cards that were only those cards that had the tournament stamp and or were signed by players or initialed by players. Thus, they've been tattooed, right? They've been altered in some way from the tournament. Those cards are eligible to be included in a Tattoo 40 deck if you are looking to get into that particular format. I recently made an introduction video explaining Tattoo 40. I will be posting some of the quick Tattoo 40 content that I've recently recorded. But it is definitely a very fun format, and this is the way that for those interested, this is one of the ways that you could get cards for that format. But also you just get cards in general. Any of these cards are eligible to be included in your deck, period, right? So just because it's been altered or signed on or whatever, it's still a legal card. It can be added to any of your decks. But a lot of players, for sentimental reasons, they tend to not use them because they put them to the side. And then a lot of these cards may not. Plus, a lot of these cards are, not that, greatly valued in terms of the power for the game, right? Judge Skeletons, that's not a card that gets played much. Paradise Gypsies, same thing, right? But that's also in addition for the fact that it's been banned. But in old school, it's still eligible to be played. It's just not a good card in general. But then this Tattoo 40 gives another way that these cards that may be neglected for one reason or another, they can have a second life in in the TAT240 format. So anybody interested in that format, this is the way that little by little you grow your inventory of cards for selection for that format, or just keep them, add them in your regular decks, or just put it to the side, display them, or just just to look at as a fun memory. Thank you guys for watching this game and for watching this series of videos.